Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Oh my gosh, I'm getting started late tonight. It is already past 7:30. Let's see what time it is. It is currently 7:36. Why is this so dark? I actually got started on my videos earlier today than I thought that I would. So just the day has just kind of gotten away from me. Oh, you know what? I wanted to bring some books over here to show you guys. Well, I'll get them at the 30-minute mark, or I'll just look them up and talk about it on here. Anyway, happy Thursday. How are you guys doing today? Yeah, my day has gone completely different than I thought that it would, because I was supposed to have therapy today at 2 o'clock, and at 12 o'clock, my therapist texted me. He was kind of having a situation going on. And he was like, do you mind if we reschedule it? I was like, no, not at all. And I said, that'll just, give me more time to film videos and whatever. So I think we're rescheduling it for early next week. Anyway, so that's what happened earlier today. And so then I was just like, you know what? I am going to get started on my videos early today. And so I filmed today. This is my 5th video that I filmed. 5 videos. As I have been sitting here, I just have to tell you, now you guys know I haven't seen the movie Wicked. I haven't seen the musical Wicked. But I love Kristen Chenoweth. And I do like some of the music from Wicked. I love the song Defying Gravity. But my favorite song is For Good from the musical Wicked. I've loved it for I don't know how long now, but for the last year, I've been listening to all these live versions of it off and on. And so I've had it in my head for the last 24 hours. I was singing it yesterday. And so as I've been uploading videos today, I have been listening to all these live versions. Before, I was listening to all the live versions of Kristen Chenoweth singing For Good. So when she goes on tour and she sings, she brings up people on stage. But then I was going back and I was listening to her and Idina Menzel sing it on stage, and the last performance that they ever did of it together. So I was listening to all that while I was so I'm sitting here and I'm just I'm on Broadway today as I'm sitting here uploading these videos. But yeah, filmed 4 videos today. I kind of got stuff mixed up in my head too, because Alex went out to dinner with his friend tonight that he hasn't seen for a while. And so he told me last night, that he was going to dinner tonight. And he also, last night when we were talking, I said something to him about Liliana's birthday party. And he goes, Saturday night. I go, you told me it was Friday night. And I looked at the text from Liliana and I was like, it's Friday night. He goes, is it Friday night? I said, yeah, it's Friday night. He goes, oh. And I said, well, what do you have on Saturday? He goes, I don't have anything on Saturday, because I thought the party was on Saturday. So he's having dinner with his friend tonight, but it won't be a late dinner. I think she has 5 kids, and so she can't be gone that long. So it will not be a long dinner tonight. So he said he'd be home by 8:30. He left here at about 6, and it is right, like I said, it was 7:36. So I've been sitting here trying to get these videos uploaded since he's been gone. But then he told me last night, he was like, I have a meeting tomorrow. Well, I thought he meant he had a meeting, and then from the meeting, he was going to go straight to his dinner. He meant he was, why is this so dark? He meant he was coming home to have his meeting. So he texted me today. We were texting back and forth, and he said, and I said, well, what time are you done today that you're, going to dinner? I thought he was going to say 5 or 5:15, then, whatever. Or sometimes if he has dinner, he'll stay over at work until it's time for him to go to dinner, because where he's going to dinner is on the way home. So he's going to Indianapolis. I said to him, I go, you love that Indianapolis place. He's like, I know. He goes, do you want me to bring you anything? I said, no, I'm good. I'm good. He goes, I can bring you a salad or something like that. I was like, no, I'm good. So anyway, but he texted me, he was like, well, I have the meeting today. And I go, yeah. I thought he meant the meeting at work, and then, after the meeting he was going to go to dinner. No, he meant he was coming home because he was doing the meeting. It was a Zoom meeting, and I was like, oh. And so I had kind of planned to, because I thought I had therapy before my therapist texted me to cancel it. I thought that I wouldn't get started on my videos till 3. If I got done at 3, I would be starting videos at 3:30, 3:45. And so I was like, well, Alex probably won't be home until 8 or 8:30 anyway, so I'll just have all night to film videos and stuff. And so when he came home, I kind of had to take a little bit of a break. In fact, I wanted to do, because he's down here and he's like talking, and so I didn't want to be like, you know, when he's here, like on Zoom calls and stuff like that, I mean, he doesn't care. He's like, just go upstairs and film a video. I'm like, he says half the time I'm in meetings, he's like, I just have my AirPods and you can film upstairs. I'm like, no, I don't want to disrupt you and whatever. So I was actually going to do the PO unboxing today, but I also had wanted to do like taking a walk around the neighborhood, go looking at the pool and stuff like that. And so Alex was in his meeting and I thought, well, instead of not posting any video on my Peter Does Stuff channel, since I wasn't going to do the PO unboxing, which I feel like that video has like been waiting so long to happen, I was like, I'll just go take a walk in the neighborhood. So I took a walk outside. It was cold today, but it was like sunny and it was really pretty outside today. So the birds were chirping. My squirrels like have eaten almost all the food around the tree. So I've got to go put more squirrel food. And on the back patio, they've eaten almost all of the food too. I don't know why it took them so long to come out there. I don't know if it was the squirrels or birds or other animals, but I got to go put more food out there. Got to do that tonight. So yeah, so I went and I took a walk while Alex was in his meeting, or part of his meeting. And then on my way back, it was funny because I was talking about my neighbor next door, Norma. I could not remember her to save my life. I kept on telling these stories about her. And I couldn't remember Norma's name. And then it just kind of like came to me while I was telling the story. But anyway, my neighbor that I go to the pool with, she lives in the condo now that Norma used to live in. And so I was telling these stories, and then when I came back, I ran into my neighbor next door walking her dog. And so she's at the very end of the documentary. She's at the very end of the documentary. She's at the very end. She's trying to train her dog to walk on a leash. So she takes her on like 4 walks a day. It's very sweet. But anyway, so I ran into her and I was like, do you want to be on video? She was like, yeah, sure. So, and it was funny because I was telling her, I was like, oh, I was talking about your grandma, and then I was talking about Norma that used to live in your house. And I said, like, the fashion designer. She kind of looked at me, and then she goes, oh, I still have stuff in the basement. I go, what do you have down there, dress forms? And she was like, no, I have, like, books that have, like, you know, like, I don't know, fashion books or something like that. I want to see them now. I'm, like, real intrigued. It kind of caught me off guard because I was, like, filming. Then I got back, and I was like, I want to see what she has over there. So I'm going to text her when I get done with the vlog, but... So yeah, so today I sat down and actually let me light my candle and talk about my coffee first so I can drink my coffee and light my candle or enjoy my candle while I'm vlogging. I brought out the woodwick candle again because I really like this candle, and I blew it out as soon as I was done vlogging and saved it over there. Last night I almost got to the end of 3 or 4 more Shy Wolf candles. So somebody commented on my, I think it was my vlog yesterday, and said their Shy Wolf box, subscription box came. And I was like, I wish mine would come. I need a new candle. I need a new Shy Wolf candle. I might have to get, I'm trying to like go through the Christmas ones that are in the garage. And, but I'm trying really hard not to get online and like buy a bunch of candles. I mean, not for any reason except for that I want to go through all the candles that I have because I just don't need to have mass supplies of candles, right? I'm gonna only try to like buy things in the future that I need. Like the coffee. I looked in the pantry last night. It was so crazy. I haven't bought coffee in a while. So today I am using the Marvis. I think I called it Marvin in my video the other day. I'm using the Marvis Big Teeths cup that I got. If you buy anything from their merch shop, it goes to the medical funding for Marvis's surgeries and stuff like that. But I love Marv so much. He makes me so happy. And then the coffee is the coffee that Marissa sent me, which is the Green Mountain Cinnamon Sugar Cookie. It's so good. I love it. But anyway, I looked at my pantry last night because I was putting some coffee and some tea and stuff in my drawer. I haven't been keeping as much in my drawer. I have like a bag of that Kauai coffee. But I've been going to the closet just to like get a K-pod here and there. Or I'll put like 2 or 3 in at night of like the ones I'm going to use. And so I looked at my pantry last night and I was like, you are kind of down to bare bones in here. Like you need to start ordering some coffee. And I'm like, no, not till it's all gone. I'll wait till I'm with Caroline next week, you know, at Costco. I'll get some more coffee and stuff like that. So I'm trying to be really good with like even the other day, I was like, I need some more notebooks. I was like, no, you don't need more notebooks. You have enough notebooks. Maybe go use some of the old notebooks. I'm trying to be better about that. But anyway, so yeah, so I filmed, what did I start with today? I started with the drama video today that I did. And then after that, it's so interesting. I think this is part of the reason, too, why I don't get as much done in a day. I don't really, back in the day, I did take breaks. Like, I can remember, like, watching videos on the back patio back in the day when the dogs were still alive and stuff like that, because I'd, you know, put them on the back patio, and I would watch my videos back out there when I used the back patio. I did take breaks back in the day. Now I just kind of film, upload, and whatever. I mean, this is literally my first cup of coffee of the day right here. So I'm going to enjoy a little bit more of it. Cheers. But I think part of it is I'm kind of slow about things now. Like, you know, I like make the bed. I like wash my face. I like shave today. And then, like, I'll walk downstairs and I'll straighten stuff in the kitchen as I'm because I come downstairs to get my tripod and my camera and everything I need, you know, and then I'll, like, straighten the kitchen for a little bit. I'll look at a book. I'll pick up a book and read a little bit of it. Then I go upstairs and I film a video. I'm very relaxed. It's, like, almost too relaxed. And then I come downstairs. So in between each video today, sometimes I film, like, 3 videos on a memory card, but I'm trying to get away from that because when I do that, I usually delete one of those videos and then I have to refilm it. And if it's like a PO unboxing, I can't go back and reopen all the PO boxes, you know? So between each video, when I film it, I'm trying to bring it down here and upload it then, so then I don't lose it. It's just because I'm absent-minded, and like on my camera, I go through and I just like, as soon as I'm done with the video, I just like, you know, go back in and I like delete, I delete everything. So anyway, I know people that literally have videos from, I don't know, 2016 saved. Like, they've saved, like, every video. I've saved some things, but I haven't saved, like, everything, you know? I don't even know, like, I'm gonna have to have, like, 5 external hard drives to do all that, you know? But anyway, some things I have saved. So I filmed my drama video, and then I came down here, and I was like trying to think about how to do it so that when the video was done rendering, I could upload it on my phone. So what video did I need to make next that I would need my phone for? Because I can't use my phone and upload a video at the same time. So I was like, oh, I don't even have a video for my TV channel today to do. I mean, I have like 15, but not one that was like, you know, immediate that I had to do. And I was like, oh, you didn't do that Ruby Frankie video about Devil in the Family. So I did that video today. And then when I came down here, I put that video together while I was uploading my drama video. And then I went upstairs, and that was when Alex texted me. Both those videos were like, one was like 45 minutes, the other one was like 37 minutes. So with all of that, it took me like an hour and a half each. So it was like 3 hours. So by then, it was like, I think it was like 4:30, and Alex was on his way home. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to film a video in the bathroom upstairs. I said, so if you come in, I said, that's why I have the door closed and I'm talking upstairs. He said, okay. So, because I knew that he had to, like, get started. And so I didn't want to be upstairs filming if he needed to, like, get on it. Because he's got to get the people in the meeting before he starts the meeting, if that makes sense. So I was like, well, I'll film this review in the bathroom. It was a video that I wanted to do the other day anyway and didn't do it. So I filmed that video. And then I came down here. When I came down here, he was already in his meeting. He got in his meeting early. And so I think the meeting was supposed to start at like 5:30 or 5:15. It started like 5 till 5 or something like that. So he was in his meeting, and I sat here and I just like put in my headphones and I like rendered the videos and uploaded the videos. And then I was like, by the PO unboxing thing, I was like, well, I wanted to take this walk anyway. So I went outside and I filmed the walk video, and then I came back and got it up, and then yeah, and then Alex went upstairs and he said, I think I'm going to change my shirt and put on a nicer shirt. I said, you look nice. He had like a nice sweater on, tucked in and stuff like that. He goes, you think so? I said, yeah, you look really nice. And then he went upstairs and kind of freshened up for a little bit, and then he left. So I think, no, he told me dinner started at, I think he originally told me, I thought it was going to start at like 6 or 6:30, and then he told me tonight it started at 7. So I don't know what time he left. But anyway, so since then, I have been sitting here uploading videos and listening to Kristen Chenoweth. And then I wanted to share with you, because last night I was, I got crying so hard watching these videos. It was while I was uploading my vlog. I've been watching, it's interesting because people ask me a lot of what I watch on YouTube. I mean, a lot of what I watch on YouTube, I don't watch really that many drama commentary videos anymore, unless it's a video that I make and somebody else has made, and then I wait until after I've made the video, because I don't want my opinion to be, affected by what somebody else says, and then I'll watch it afterwards, because I'm kind of interested to hear what somebody else has to say. But I don't watch that many drama commentary videos anymore. TV reactions I watch, like I was sharing the other day, but I usually watch them like after I've watched the show, because I don't want it to ruin it for me for the show. And I will say, I thought about doing this. I don't know if I'm going to or not. I don't think so, probably. I don't love the ones where they watch the show and they react to it live. I don't know why. I like to just hear people talk about what their thoughts were about the show. So that's a lot of what I watch. And I watch a lot of drag pageantry online, because a lot of the drag pageants and drag shows. I watch a lot of clips of like Real Housewives, like the best of Nene Leakes reads, the best of Sheree Whitfield's reads. I watch a lot of like clips of like Housewives, RuPaul's Drag Race, stuff like that. But the one thing I watch a lot of, I don't know if I've ever talked about this on here before, I'm sure I have, but I watch a lot of like these auditions for like Britain's Got Talent, American Idol, like these singing shows, like the real emotional auditions. I watch a lot of them, and there's one that's my favorite. I actually pulled it up because I wanted to remember what her name is. I don't know how I could have forgotten, but it's Lauren Allred. And she's the one that sings Never Enough from The Greatest Showman, which is another show that I've never seen. I've never seen any of these movies or musicals, but I know the songs. What's the Pink song from that movie? I like that one too. Million Dreams or something like that. But anyway, there's this video if you've never seen it, okay? And it is called Golden Buzzer, Lauren Allred Shines Bright with Never Enough, auditions for Britain's Got Talent. So she's the original singer. She's gotten famous since this, but she was the original singer on the album that they, like, said the actress sang the part, but it was her singing actually the vocals in the background. So nobody really knew who she was. Do you guys know this story? So she finally decided to come out with her story, and then one of the things that she did in telling her story about being like, she was supposed to like, I think, coach the singers to sing, but they ended up using her vocals, because the vocals, I love that song so much, Never Enough. I'm trying to hold my breath. Anyway, but so she never, like, she said she always liked to be behind the scenes. She doesn't like to be in front of, like, the camera or in front of, like, the spotlight or whatever. And now she decided she felt, like, so close to that song that she wanted to come out, and she felt connected to that song. This audition is fantastic. It is, like, I'm literally sitting there, like, bawling my eyes out. What were the other things that I watched last night? I just kept on watching all these, like, I mean, I'm just crying, like, sobbing on my computer, watching all of these all these auditions of people. There's a bunch of them on here that I love. And see, now I don't want to get off this. There's tons of these Lauren Allred videos of her singing. Oh, I didn't know she sang I Will Always Love You. I'm going to have to listen to that. I'm just going to leave it up here. But anyway, back in the day, I know she's kind of turned out to be, I don't even, hold on, let me look real quick. I was like, I hope nothing, I don't know if she's still alive, I didn't want to say. Susan Boyle. When Susan Boyle did Britain's Got Talent, that audition, do you guys remember that years ago, that she sang from Les Mis? I love that so much. I know she's kind of turned into a bit of a disaster through the years, but I really, really love that audition in that moment in time. Because they just didn't expect her to be a good singer at all, and then she just blew them all away. I love that. I love anything like that. I love any of those singing things. So that's a lot of what I've been watching lately. But anyway, I sat here and watched that. Then last night, what did we watch last night? Oh, we watched, so yeah, I got these videos filmed today. Did a review of shaving cream and shaving products on my review channel. There's a whole story behind that. Took a walk to the pool and to the bridge and other kind of stuff. Looked at the fish. The fish are in the water. And told some stories on there as well. It was kind of like a vlog, but it was like me walking. And then, yeah, last night, Alex and I watched The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I mean, literally, it got over. It was like the second it ended. And I looked over at Alex. And I was like, I'm so bored with this season. It is so boring this season. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is like Alex's favorite. It is so boring. It is so slow. It is so bad. It is so boring. I never thought I would say this because I just am not a Kathy Hilton fan. I don't dislike her, but she's not my, there's nothing about Kathy Hilton that interests me. She's actually one of the only interesting things this season. So yeah, so we watched that, and then we watched Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, and it was Gabrielle Union, and then this guy he's in like some new show, I don't know what his name is, and he was in Maverick, the Top Gun movie as well. Gabrielle Union and I, okay, first of all, she looks 35, okay, 35. She and I are the exact same age. Like, exactly, or like, she's 4 months younger than me. My birthday is June 29th. Her birthday, I looked it up last night. Her birthday is October 29th. I couldn't believe it. I was like, when did that Bring It On came? Alex and I were talking about it last night because she's such a great interview, by the way, Gabrielle Union. She has such a fantastic interview. She's just so natural and so real. And so I was like, looking her up last night, because Alex was telling me, I didn't know this about her. Did you guys know she has a trans daughter? And she's like very, her daughter is like, was on the front of like 17 magazine and is like, has this huge presence. And anyway, she didn't really talk much about it in the interview. I mean, she talks about her kids and stuff like that and her husband. But I was like looking at her, I was like, because Alex said, you know, that she's got like younger kids and older kids and whatever. I was like, how old are her kids? I was like, how old is she? And I looked it up. I was like, Gabrielle Union and I are the same age. I was like, I look old. She looks so good. Gabrielle Union looks so good. I still remember that. When did that movie Bring It On come out? I loved that movie back in the day. I was gonna look it up last night. Bring It On. She said none of her kids like it and she wishes they did. Bring It On movie. What year did it come out? 2000. So how old was I in 2000? Do I really? Was I 20? Oh no, 28. I couldn't have been 28 in 2000, could I? We're gonna pull up the calculator. 2000. I know people are already like, yeah, you're 28. 1972. I was 28 years old. So I was 28 years old when Bring It On came. Gabrielle Union was 28 years old when she filmed Bring It On. Oh, that's crazy. I don't think I've ever seen the other ones, but she did hint that her and who's her co-star in the movie, Kirsten Dunst, that they're like doing a follow-up to it. I really liked that movie. I thought it was so good. I'm like looking at the cast of it now. Trying to hold my breath. Anyway. Okay, so we watched that, and then I was like, I'm gonna lay down for a little bit. Alex was like, yeah, I'm gonna go upstairs. And he was gonna watch Suits, but then he ended up going to bed. And I took a nap, and I took a nap last night, and then I got up. Nikki felt so bad. I felt so bad for her. She had this headache for like 36 hours. I felt so bad for her. She's feeling better today. So she didn't obviously want to do puzzles or anything like that. She was trying to like listen to her audiobook, but she's like, I can't even really focus on this. I felt so bad for her. So we talked for a little bit. Talked to Tanya for a little bit, and then I came inside. Oh, I was like, I want to start these new books and start reading these new books. So I read like 4, I say chapters, but they're really just like stories or essays from Late Migration, which is about Margaret Rinkle. So I do want to say this. If you're going to read the other Margaret Rinkle books, they're very similar. I mean, I'm far enough into it now that I know to Late Migrations. The way that it's formatted is very similar to Comfort of Crows. But even though Comfort of Crows is her newest book, I would definitely recommend reading it first, because you kind of understand her writing style a little bit. And Late Migrations is really like stories of today and nature. So she does a lot, like in all of her stories that she tells, she does a lot of like talking about back in time. I mean, not like in one story, but like one story will be like about something that's currently happening. Actually, in her author's note, she said she wrote it to be read over the course of a year, but she actually wrote it over several years. When she's talking about it, like there's certain chapters, certain essays that are written that are like in today's, like she'll say like, well, today I took a walk and, you know, I saw this, you know, fox or this bluebird or whatever. Then there's other chapters where she's talking about like her kids when they were growing up. So it kind of goes back and forth. This book, Late Migrations, does it even more because it shifts between her point of view and the present, like one story. And the stories are very, very short, Late Migrations. They're like, some of them are like a paragraph. Some of them are like a page and a half. I mean, they're very short. And so she'll go in there and she'll tell like she starts with her grandmother's birth, her grandmother's birth. And then like 4 chapters later, she's talking about her mother's birth. And then she talks about her great-grandparents passing away. And then she talks about her mother telling her about her birth. And in between there are like all these other little stories. So she kind of goes back and forth in time. It's beautifully written. I mean, I just love her work. So it's just, there's something, you know, it's kind of like, this is maybe a bad analogy, but when you listen to like audiobooks and you like Caroline will find a narrator that she likes and then she just listens to the same narrator. She doesn't really care what the book is. But it's kind of like that, like, her style is so specific and different, and I don't know, it's lovely. It's just absolutely lovely, and it's beautiful, and it just slows me down. I just love it. It's like reading meditations that are stories, is what they are, kind of. You know, I said the other day, it was interesting, I said the other day in my video that she reminds me of Harper Lee, that wrote To Kill a Mockingbird and Go Set a Watchman, which are like right up there. Well, Go Set a Watchman is. Yeah. Go Set a Watchman is it the 4th book? Oh no, I actually have, I think I have the Harper Lee. Is that what is that? It's To Kill a Mockingbird. It's a special edition. And then like 4 over, I have Go Set a Watchman. I was looking something up the other day about Harper Lee, and I saw that she had a new book of short stories. Did I ever talk about this on here? And then somebody commented on one of my videos, and I said, did you know Harper Lee has a new book of short stories coming out? It's interesting because, here, let's look it up right now. I didn't really look into it a whole lot. It's coming out in October, I believe. Harper Lee new book. I mean, obviously I'll read it. Stories by Harper Lee to appear for the first time in the new collection. So this is what's interesting to me about this, is if you know the history of Go Set a Watchman, Harper Lee didn't really want that. She had said she didn't really want that book to come out. Actually, at the time, there were so many people that loved, what is going on here? There were so many people that, like, huge, I mean, it was a big discussion of those that loved Harper Lee at the time. Oh, Harper Lee, there's a picture of her right there when she was older. It was kind of a big discussion between lovers of Harper Lee. I remember when it came out, I think it was before I was on YouTube, that Go Set a Watchman came out, was it? Go Set a Watchman, what year did it come out? Year did it come out? No, it says 1957. Oh, she sold it in 1957. 2015. No, I started in 2016 on YouTube. So yeah, it came out the year before. But at the time, there was a lot of discussion about if you were like a lover of Harper Lee, should you read it or should you not read it? Because she never wanted the book to come out. I was not going to have a book by Harper Lee, my favorite author of life, be out there and not read it. Having read it, I understand Harper Lee's hesitation in wanting the book to come out. So if you've never read it before, To Kill a Mockingbird, it's interesting because, like, a lot of people, like Harper Lee would say, that people thought that To Kill a Mockingbird was part of what started the civil rights movement. But it actually came out, I think it came out in 1961. And people thought that it was written much earlier because it took place, I think, like in the 40s, 30s? What year was To Kill a Mockingbird published? I think it's like 60, July 11th of 1960. She was 34 when it was first published. Take place, I think it was like 33 and 35. So when you're reading it, even if you read it in 1960, or like when I read it, which, I mean, I think I read it for the first time before I was 10 years old, I don't know, 8, something like that. I watched the movie for the first time, definitely before that in the play. So before 1980, you know, it was written about racial segregation in the South, but way after, and was written during the civil rights movement. If you've ever seen the movie or watched, the book is so different than the movie. So the movie, they really just take the story of Scout, her brother Jim, and Dill. It's like, that's really, and Boo Radley. That's mostly the story. Which people always ask me, why'd you name Boo Radley? Boo Radley, obviously, because of the Robert Duvall character in the movie, and because of, you know, Arthur Radley, Mr. Arthur. I've thought about the next dog calling him Mr. Arthur, but Boo Radley was just such a specific dog that, you know, I don't know. But I love the camera stopped. And since it did, in between the camera stopping, I went and I got these 2 books I want to show you. But anyway, I loved the character of Boo Radley by Harper Lee. I think Boo Radley is one of the... I think Boo Radley might be my favorite character ever written, ever fictionalized, ever in a movie, TV show, book, whatever. What Boo Radley represents is innocence, untarnished, loyalty and love and compassion, and misunderstanding too. You know, I think if the book came out today, if To Kill a Mockingbird came out today, it would be this huge discussion about mental health and lack of mental health treatment for Boo Radley. And the reality is that at that time, that was how people with mental health issues were treated. You know, I mean, they talk about it in the book, where I can't think of her name. What's her name? Dill's aunt. It's played by Alice Ghostley in the movie. But she says they kept him in the basement of the courthouse till he nearly died of the damp. I feel like I know like every line from that movie by heart. And his daddy took him home, you know. There he sits to this day. God knows what he's doing or thinking. I love that movie so much. The music by Elmer Bernstein is just fantastic. The music from To Kill a Mockingbird, if you've never heard it, is just... I have it on CD. I have it downloaded in my phone. I love it. But, you know, at the time that the book came out, Atticus Finch was so looked up to because of his stance on racism. I think my mom really taught me, and my dad loves the book too, compassion and love and understanding, or even lack of understanding and admitting to that. You know, where through the eyes of Atticus Finch in To Kill a Mockingbird, I always get the line wrong that you never truly know a man until you walk around in his shoes. There's actually 2 lines in To Kill a Mockingbird. To Kill a Mockingbird quotes. What is the famous quote from To Kill a Mockingbird? Mockingbirds don't do one thing except make music for us to enjoy. They don't eat at people's gardens, don't nest in corn cribs. They don't do one thing but sing their hearts out for us. That's why it's a sin to kill a mockingbird. People in their right minds never take pride in their talents. That's actually when Scout gets in trouble at school and for fighting, and that's when she said she's not going back to school anymore because the teacher says that Atticus is teaching her how to read all wrong. And she goes, but if I go back to school, that means we can't read no more. And he goes, I'll make you, or what does he say? Compromise. And he goes, do you know what that means? And she goes, bend in the law. I love that movie so much. I love the movie more than I like the book. Oh my God, Mary Badham as Scout is just unbelievable in it. And he says, no. And he says, you keep on going to school and we'll keep on reading every night just like we always have. But, you know, everybody looked up to Atticus, you know, because Atticus took a stand against racism. And then Go Set a Watchman comes out, and it's a different Atticus, you know? And the thing is that what they say is that Go Set a Watchman and To Kill a Mockingbird were actually the same book. And that when she took it to her publishers, I haven't actually read articles on this lately, I should probably look more into it, but when she took it to her publishers, there were pieces of it that it was Jean Louise, as an adult, coming back home to Macomb to visit her dad, and so
it's her looking back on her life. And so they said, take these pieces, and this is the book you need to write. And she wrote To Kill a Mockingbird. To Kill a Mockingbird has entire characters in it that don't even show up in the movie, like aunts and uncles and stuff like that don't even show up in the movie. So when Go Set a Watchman came out, Atticus, people felt was a bit of a sellout. And Scout, even in the book, Jean Louise, felt that he was... She really struggled with him. There was a conversation at the end of the book that she has with Calpurnia. That she feels like, I don't know this man anymore. And a lot of what they explain in the book is that the year that we're looking at, like Atticus had to do things a certain way. It's interesting because I've listened to so many like interviews or speaking. Mary Badham, who played Scout in the movie, she goes around and she speaks at universities and things like that about the book and schools. And she talks about how she loves Go Set a Watchman, and it didn't change her perspective of Atticus at all. And that, we idolize our parents in ways. I think we've all done this. I think I did it, definitely. And then you wake up one day and you see them as real human beings, as real people. So I think it skewed people's idea of who Atticus Finch was when they read Go Set a Watchman. And I think that was, Nell Harper Lee was somebody that was so humble and so small. Like, she just didn't want any attention ever, She did like 1 or 2 interviews or something. Like, she never wanted to do an interview, with anybody. Like, Oprah did this whole thing and said she knew the second she sat down with her at the plaza in New York or something like that. She knew the second. She asked her, she said, who do you think is Boo Radley in the book? And it was her. She was Boo Radley. She was Boo Radley. She was misunderstood. Maybe that's why I love Boo Radley, the character, so much. Maybe I relate to Boo Radley. I don't know, But, I think the book became more than she ever thought it would be. I mean, she never thought it was going to be the, great American classic, which so many people have called it. She never thought it was going to be that. And so, I did not think I was going to be talking about all this today. And so, I think it became bigger than her. I mean, it became bigger than the story, And I think she was afraid of letting people down with what Go Set a Watchman said about Atticus. A lot of people refer to it as a sequel. It feels like a sequel when you read it. I haven't read it, but the one time that I read it years ago. So anyway, I don't know. That's not the quote that I wanted to talk about, though. What was Atticus's out? No, where is it at? But you don't really know someone until the 43 best To Kill a Mockingbird quotes. Let's see what these are. This will be interesting. Oh, this is Scout to Atticus after Boo Radley. Atticus, he was real nice. His hands were under my chin, pulling up the cover, tucking it around me. Most people are Scout when you finally see them. This is about, it says concept kindness. Where is the quote that I love, that I always get wrong? Oh, this is interesting. From Atticus Finch, are you proud of yourself tonight that you've insulted a total stranger whose circumstances you know nothing about? That's an interesting quote. Shoot all the blue jays you want if you can hit them. But remember, it's a sin to kill a mockingbird. Where is the quote about when you stand with somebody on their front porch? Oh, this is when Bob Ewell spits in his face. Jim, see if you can stand in Bob Ewell's shoes a minute. I destroyed his last shred of credibility at that trial. If he had any to begin with, the man had to have. Oh, I just went out of it. Where is it at? Oh no, I went all out of it. Oh, shit, I'm just gonna look this up. I like this though. Where is it at? Oh no, I went all out of it. Oh shit, I'm just gonna look this up. I like this though. 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 I
Here it is. You never really understand a person. This is my favorite quote of life. You never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view, until you climb inside of his skin and walk around in it. It actually appears twice. There's two different quotes about that. There's another one in the book about, Jim also uses this quote to explain to Scout why Boo Radley stays in his house. Jim realizes that Boo Radley wants to stay inside. The quote is a metaphor that helps readers understand that to truly understand another person, you must try to see things from their perspective. So, you know, I don't know about this. Here, let's read about this new book that's coming out. more books of hers that she didn't want to come out. Essays and early short stories by To Kill a Mockingbird author Harper Lee will be published this fall. It'll be interesting to see how much of it has to do with Truman Capote. So Truman Capote was her lifelong friend, but then he got jealous of her for the book, and then they fell out of friendship. But he was actually the character Dill in the book. He would come visit her when she was growing up. The Land of Sweet Forever compiles short fiction Lee wrote in the years before the 1960 release of her classic novel and includes essays completed between 1961 and 2006. Oh, wow. Harper, an imprint of HarperCollins Publishers, will release the book October 21st, The Land of Sweet Forever. Will include an introduction by Lee's authorized biographer, Casey Kapp. As a member of Harper Lee's surviving family, I know I speak for all of us in saying that we're delighted that these essays, and especially the short stories which we knew existed, but were only recently discovered, have been found and are being published. The late author's nephew, Dr. Edwin Connor, said in a statement Tuesday. She was not just our beloved aunt, but a great American writer, and we can never know too much about how she came to that pinnacle, he said. Lee, who died in 2016 at age 89, published no new full-length books after To Kill a Mockingbird. In 2015, she approved... Oh, I didn't know she approved it. It says she approved the release of Go Set a Watchman and an early draft of Mockingbird. I thought there was a huge scandal over the release of it. I remember talking to people about it. Maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, I would love if my mom were still alive. That would be a moment that we would get excited about. So anyway, last night, I sat down to read for a little bit. I read Late Migrations. And then I had all these books scattered around me. I was like, I'm going to read a chapter of this. I'm going to read a chapter of that. I actually put Sink down by Ellen Hopkins. That was going to be one of the books I was going to read this month. But I think I'm going to wait because, well, first of all, I went through the books last night. My new books that I bought into this haul, or showed in my video the other day. I'm going to do a haul on it. I have Summer written, and there's my writing, if you guys want to see my writing. Summer written on a Post-it note because... this is all good people here. I don't know anything about this book, but I was going to read it because it's like each chapter is so short. And I thought, this would be a good way. I'm trying to get back slowly into the physical copy reading, so short chapters help me. But when I was reading the back of it, where did I read this? It was like maybe in the first, oh, here it is. People Magazine said, the perfect summer mystery. I was like, oh no, we're going to save that for summer. I'm starting to save all these books for summer. Somebody asked me the other day, I think it was Emily that asked me, what was the book that I read years and years and years ago, and The Bright Forever. Is it The Bright Forever? Remember I looked it up, book. I think that's what it is. Yeah, The Bright Forever. Takes place in Indiana, I believe. But I asked her, she said, you got to read this. And I said, yeah, I want to, but I said, I kind of was wanting to save it till the summer. Is it a summer book? And I think she said it was. She was like, but I want to save summer books for summer. But she had read it. A dark heroine novel. What year did this come out? I don't even know. Oh, 2005. A dark heroine novel about a 9-year-old girl's disappearance and the lasting impact it has on her close-knit community. On an evening like any other, 9-year-old Katie Mackey, daughter of the most affluent family in a small town on the plains of Indiana, sets out on her bicycle to return some library books. The simple act is the heart of The Bright Forever, a deeply affecting novel about the choices people make that change their lives forever. You know what? Did you guys ever read... You know what I think is a book that I would love to revisit is The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold. I watched the movie after I read the book. The book was so profound. The movie missed the mark for me. I know people that did not read the book that watched the movie and they loved the movie. But the movie was okay. What other books did Alice Sebold write? I know she wrote some other book that Tanya really likes. But I don't think I ever read it. I'm sure I bought it, but I don't know if I ever read it. What's the other book? Maybe Lucky? Looking Glass? Gosh, she hasn't written a book in forever. Maybe I should look at some of her other books. Has anybody else written anything by, has anybody read anything else written by Alice Sebold? Let me know if you have in the comment section below. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you, this book, it's definitely written for like, it's definitely YA. There's like YA and new YA that has like, you know, anyway. This is definitely YA, but okay, as an adult that enjoys dystopian fiction, and I'm not talking about like 400 years after the world has ended, I'm talking about like the ending of the world, and zombie things, and whatever. I don't know what it is about this book, but I'm telling you right now, I sat here for an hour and I read, I mean, I just sat in that chair. I was just like, I literally could have not watched any TV last night and just binge read this entire book. I read the first 82 pages of it, and the book is Life as We Knew It by Susan Pfeffer. I want to get the other books in the series. Okay. So this book is about this girl. I think, what's her name? Melinda? I can't think of what her name is now. Why can't I think of the girl's name? What is her name? Here, we'll look at her dad. She talks to her dad in the first thing. What is the main character? Miranda. So, Miranda, it's told in diary form, and it starts in May. And Miranda's parents are divorced, and her dad is remarried. You don't really know where he lives yet. I mean, I'm not there yet, so please don't ruin it for me. But her parents are divorced, and they've been divorced for a while. And her dad is remarried, and he calls her, like, in the first chapter. Oh, it's not it's actually in chapters, but then in each chapter, there's also, like, it's all diary writings. So, like, the first one, it has, like, a moon with a 1 on it. So, I think I'm at chapter 5 or something like that now, or 6. But anyway, it starts off with her talking to her dad on the phone, and she tells him, this is literally page 1, so I'm not ruining this for anybody. She tells him that, or he tells her that her stepmom is pregnant. So she lives with her mom and her younger brother that I think she's 15, and her younger brother is 12. Johnny? I can't remember. And then she has another brother, Matt, I think is his name, that's in college. And this is in Pennsylvania, and her brother goes to college in Ithaca, New York. And so she's like into swimming and wants to start volleyball. She's like a junior in high school, or she's going to be a junior. I think she's going to be a junior in high school. And she's like wanting to get her driver's license and stuff. Okay, I will tell you, it's a little cheesy in how it's written. I would not say it's beautifully written or anything like that. It's kind of cheesy. It's kind of a little Go Ask Alice-ish, in all honesty, at the beginning of it. Not as bad as Go Ask Alice, but it's kind of a little cheesy. I don't know what it is about this book. If you guys have read this book or these books in the series, first of all, I want to know if this whole series is good, because there's 4 in the series. But I'm just obsessed. So it's about this girl, and she's like a figure skater, and she's obsessed with this Brandon guy. I don't know how I know his name and nobody else's names in the book, but she's obsessed with this guy that's like going to be like this Olympic skater that's from her town. And so she's like on all these forums talking about this skater. And then she's got these 2 friends. One of them is Sammy, and Sammy is like a wild child and is like dating all these guys. And then she has this friend, I think the girl's name is Megan, and Megan is like super religious and going to like Bible study and youth group, and all she ever talks about is God. And so those are like her 2 closest friends. But those 2 friends are not really friends anymore, because the religious one is always judging the girl that's dating all these guys and all this kind of stuff. So what it's really about, though, it takes about, I would say, 10 or 20 pages to really get into it, is that there's going to be this event with the moon. And the event is that a meteor is going to hit the moon. And you can actually see it with like you don't have to have binoculars or anything. And it's going to happen at like 9:30 on this Wednesday night. So all the teachers are giving them assignments to write about the moon. And so they don't really know what's going to happen to it, but everybody like is outside, like watching the moon and all this kind of stuff. Well, I don't want to ruin it for anybody that hasn't read it. So, because I will tell you, where I'm at already, I mean, I literally could not put it down. I could sit last night. Last night I wanted to watch Station 11. I wanted to watch Ghosts. But I also need to watch Survivor and Amazing Race because I cannot get behind on my weekly shows, and Amazing Race started last night. So I was like, you've got to start these shows. I mean, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning when I started watching shows last night because I was like, I just could not put this book down. I mean, it is that. Oh, I also read some of my graphic novel, Where the Body Is, last night too. This book is so good. It is so addicting. Like literally a page turner. And it's not a thriller or anything. It's just this natural, okay, so this asteroid hits the moon, which they know is going to happen. They're all going to watch it, but they don't know what's going to be the after effects to it. So it's, the astro events are like catastrophic, but it's basically like what her and her family do in the wake of this catastrophe. I mean, and I'm just at the beginning of the book. Like I'm a fifth of the way through it. So I don't even know what's going to happen. Like, they can't get anybody on the phones. And I mean, everything is just like, it's crazy. I don't want to tell you guys anymore in case you want to read it, because I don't want to ruin it for anybody. It is so good, you guys. This book has been sitting in my basement for years. It is so good. Has anybody read these? Do the other, because there's 3 more, and I want to read the other ones. I want to get them. You can get like a box set of them, I think. But anyway, let me know if this book, did you like this book? I know it's cheesy. Like when you read it, like, I mean, some of the journal entries, like where she's talking about, what is she saying here? The one thing she says, I'll have to find the article. She says something about mom rules. I mean, this is very much how it's written. She says something, I know it's like on the right-hand side, because I can remember because that's when I took a break for a second. She says something about, she's talking about her brother, Matt. He's at college. He's worried about getting through his exams and stuff. Spent the weekend working on my English paper. Dad called this morning. Matt says we can use a telescope. So it's a lot of that kind of stuff. Oh, here it is. This is the kind of Go Ask Alice dialogue of it. She says, I wish it was summer already. I can't wait to get my driver's license. I also wish I was through studying for my history exam. Boring. But I better get back to it. Bad grades, no license. The rules according to mom. But then it gets like real good. It's like, you know how I've been talking lately about like what would you really do like in a zombie apocalypse or the end of the world? Like it talks about like what you would, like what they really do. Like in real, what you really would do, you know? I'm obsessed with this book. So I have to tell you, today, I almost was like, you know what? Don't film any videos today. Don't even film your vlog. Just sit and read this book all day long. When was the last time you just literally sat and read a book all day long? That's how bad I wanted to get into the book. Then last night, when I got done with that, I was getting ready to watch Amazing Race. I was like rolling through stuff, and I forgot that Alex told me that Traders, what is going on with this cord? It's like all caught up, according to my computer. That Traders that's on tonight, I told Alex before we went to dinner, I said, how late is dinner going to be? And he was like, told me who it was with. I was like, oh, because of all our kids, it's not going to be late. He goes, I'll probably be home like no later than 8:30. And I said, okay. I said, because I want to watch Traders tonight. I want to watch Traders the finale, and I want to watch Traders the, what do you call it? The reunion. They're both on tonight. I'd forgotten about it until late last night. So tonight, I've got, well, I did watch Amazing Race and Survivor. People were messaging me last night about Amazing Race, and they don't watch it anymore, and that they used to with their parents, and it got boring. I love the Amazing Race. I love it so much. I mean, I already have my favorites. If you watch Amazing Race, I mean, my favorites change throughout the show, but like if you're watching it, I like the brothers. I think their names are Mike and Nick or something like that. I really like them. They actually remind me of 2 guys that were on the last season that I think were like in the army together, the military together. There's these 2 brothers that I like. I don't love the Dungeons and Dragons players. I like the 2 nurses that are also girlfriends. I like them. I actually like the gay couple. There's a lesbian couple, there's a gay guy couple. And the gay guy couple, they've been married for 10 years, and they are performing artists from Las Vegas. Like one is in Ka, the Cirque show, and the other one's in all kinds of shows. And I really, really like them too. Who else? Oh, the Josiah guy, and I think his wife's name is, I like them a lot. They were the ones that could not, this one thing they had to do with singing, and they just could not get it, and I felt so bad for them. The one I do not like is, and I really liked them at the beginning, you'll know I'm talking about if you've watched it, because they were at the beginning, like they were like leading the pack at the beginning. His name's Jonathan. I don't know what her name is, but he is so hard on her, and he was so pissed at the end of the show. I was like, I don't know. There's a lot of people I like on there. It takes me 3 or 4 episodes for Amazing Race to like really know who the people are.
The thing about Amazing Race is, like, even if they're, like, you know, running these challenges together, like, they'll help each other out and talk and stuff like that. And I like that camaraderie of it. Survivor is so good this season. I mean, I am so into it. I thought this was like the third or fourth episode. It was the second episode this week. I had forgotten it just came out last week. It's so good already. I already have my favorites on there. There's a lot of people that I really, really like. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't want to say who my favorites are in Survivor yet. Well, I mean, I can if you guys want to know. But I guess I could do a whole, what is it, Survivor 48 cast. So I'll tell you who my favorites are so far. Who is in the season 48 cast? Okay. The Say girl, she's driving me crazy. She's playing too hard of a game. Why are they showing, oh, I thought this was a picture of, I will tell you, last night, I was like, I hope Mary wins the whole thing. I don't know why. I was like, I hope Mary wins the whole thing. Okay. There's like all these ads popping up all over. Who is the Survivor 48 cast? Because some of these people I won't even know. The Vula tribe. Okay. I'm just going to tell you who I like. I won't tell you. I like that Say is playing for the women in her family and stuff like that. But then I thought it was interesting that she was talking about women's empowerment and all this kind of stuff. And then she's doing all the women on her tribe, like, so wrong. I thought, well, that's kind of interesting that you're saying all that. I'm going to tell you who I like. There's not really, Mary's really the only one. Oh, the pizza guy, Justin, I like him from the Vula tribe. And Mary, I like her. I hope she comes... She's at the bottom of the pack. I hope she wins the whole thing. I would love to see that. Okay, now we're at the Loggy tribe. Okay, Shaheen, I think he is so good looking. He is 38. He is from Costa Mesa, California. He's a debate professor. I don't know what it is about him. He reminds me of this guy I used to date back in the day. Eva, who I feel like they call her Evie, but Eva, she's 24. She's the one that said she has autism on the show. Well, this whole tribe I really like. I love this girl. I love her so much. I would love to see her win the whole thing. She's a PhD candidate. And then Joe, who is 45. You know, I just realized they don't have tons of people that are that much older. And he is a fire captain from California. And he's the one that she told that she's got autism. And so he's like taking her under his wing. I love that relationship that they have. This Thomas guy, who's constantly talking about all the musicians and stuff he has worked with. He's 34. He is a music executive from Los Angeles, California. I don't dislike him. I think he's playing a smart game. I think he's interesting. Bianca, that he's friends with, I don't really know much about her at all. That's the star girl that's on there. I like her, but she is so paranoid. And they are doing her wrong too. So, and then there was the Siva tribe. I like all of these. This Kyle guy that's 31. So they were talking about, what were they talking about yesterday? They're something about them, like this one girl was talking about her, like her right foot is like normal looking, but her left foot, like all her toes. Humble, what'd she call it? Humble something. Look, they probably somebody wrote an article about it, because it was this huge part of the show. Survival 48, humble traits. Somebody did write about it. Oh my God, this is so hilarious. Survivor season 48, episode 2 recap, humble traits. So they're all talking about it, and this Kevin guy is talking about how he's had this callus on his hand forever, and they're like, dude, that's a wart. He's like, I've had it for 10 years. They're like, that is a wart, and it's so hilarious. And then this Mitch guy, I love this Mitch guy so much. He is 34. He is from Waco, Texas. He's a PE coach, and he has a speech impediment. And Jeff even asks him on the challenges, like, do you want us to help you, or like... And he's like, I even appreciate you asking me. He's like, because nobody asks. But we live in a world where people just want to help you because they're kind. He's like, basically, Jeff gives him this opportunity to bring awareness to it. But they're going through all these humble traits, and they ask him, and he's so funny about it. He goes, I mean, I have a speech impediment that comes out sometimes. And he just starts laughing. He's really, really sweet. And he showed what a hard player he was last night. Camilla, I really like. I like everybody on this David guy. He comes across, like, at first as real douchey, but he's really not. Like, he is, a stunt, I think he's a stunt something, what does it say? Stunt performer. He's from Atlantic Park, California, 39. They always have one of these guys. It's like, you know, they always say that they're, like, you know, they can do all the physical challenges. He's okay. I mean, like, I think he's nice. I think it's good that he's on that tribe, because I think they kind of humble him a little bit. I think if he was on the other tribes, I think his ego would come out a lot.
And this Charity, they don't like this Charity. I don't know why I like her. She seems fine to me. She's a flight attendant from St. Petersburg, Florida. And then Chrissy, how old is she? She's 55. She's the oldest one, I think, on there. She reminds me. Do you guys remember, who's the one from Rich's season? Survivor. Why can't I think of her name? Survivor season 2 cast. No, season 1 cast. Susan. Was that her name? Susan? Where's it at? I don't even remember half these people. Yeah, there's Richard Hatch. Where is it? Susan Hawk. She kind of reminds me of Susan Hawk a little bit. I really like her. Her name's Chrissy. She just kind of puts them in their place. She's hilarious. The battery just went to the halfway mark. Yeah, I like most of it. I don't know, Survivor's just so good. I will say this, if you watched Survivor last night, they spent like more than half of the show talking about hidden immunity idols and advantages. And this is the new era of Survivor that I am not all... The camera stopped. I'm not all about the hidden immunity idols. I mean, I think it's an important part of the show, but they spent so much time on it last night. I was like, are we... I mean, there was like a journey that they went on for like awards for advantages. I was like, are we going to ever get to like... Are we ever going to get to what this is really about, like the challenges and stuff like that? So anyway... I wish I'd spend more time at Tribal Council and less time on these damn advantages. They had everybody hunting in the woods for these advantages and these idols last night. So anyway, but I'm liking Survivor. I'm liking Survivor and American Idol. I'm liking Survivor and Amazing Race. So I got done with those, and then I watched an episode of Ghosts last night. I think it was the 11th episode. I'm on the episode, well, I finished the episode where Sam goes to, is that her name, Sam? Samantha? Yeah, Sam. She and her husband go to this diner that her mom died at, and so she goes to see if she can see her ghost. That was the episode that I saw. On the show, it's so funny. This one guy that's like, he's like the last one to die. He's like this Wall Street executive or whatever. He gets such a kick out of it. So the people that don't really know what this term means, the other ghosts that have like died hundreds of years ago, apparently like, if you solve whatever you're supposed to solve before you can go to heaven, it's called getting sucked off. This show is so funny, you guys. And so, like, so there's this whole conversation, and Sam's like, that's what you call it? You call it getting sucked? And they're like, yeah, like you get sucked off to heaven. And he goes, don't ruin it. It's all I've got. He goes, don't ruin this for me. It's so funny. The show is so corny, but it's, I don't know, maybe I'm entering my corny era. Or maybe, and Ghosts. Maybe I've been in my corny era and I just didn't know it all this time. Who knows? Who knows where the flowers go? What was I watching the other day? And they played, oh, it was Ghosts. It was when they shared Flower's story about how she ended up at the house, kind of. Flower's the hippie that went to Woodstock, but they play a Donovan song. What was that Donovan song? I used to love that Donovan song back in the day. Dun, dun, dun. Donovan songs. What was the song? Touch the ground. Catch the wind. Can never catch the wind. They played that in the episode. I was like, oh my God, I love that song so much. Oh my God, I used to love Donovan. People are texting me left and right. Okay, well, you know what? You know what? I think I'm gonna get off here now. Just past the hour mark. And I got my other videos up, so I'm gonna get this one up. And then Alex should be home not too long. Oh, it's 8:39. Yeah, he should be home pretty soon. I'm kind of surprised he's not home already. So he should be, it's just up the street. So he should be home pretty soon, and then we're going to watch Traitors. Traitors isn't even coming on until 9. So we're going to watch Traitors tonight, and then, I don't know, I might take a nap. Well, that'll take us till like 11. So I might take a nap, but tonight I cannot wait to read. Nikki and I are going to do puzzles tonight. I've got my audiobook, The Deep, to listen to. And I got more books to read, Late Migrations. I got shows to watch. I want to get back into Station 11, and I would love to finish Ghost tonight, but I don't think that's going to happen. So, oh, and then Matlock and Elsbeth are on tonight, but I don't usually watch them till the next day when they're like on Paramount. So, there's also a show that just came out on Paramount called Gigolos. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I want to watch that show. It's 3 episodes. Sins of the Gigolos or something like that. Gigolos. Documentary. It just came out on Paramount. Watch Sin City Gigolo. Okay, so it's supposed to have all the guys from that TV show on Showtime, Gigolos, which I never watched. I think I watched a couple episodes of it. But Little funny side note for you. So, y'all know we got married in Las Vegas. One of our dearest friends ever, she moved from Indianapolis to Las Vegas, okay? And she's a very interesting story, but she brought to our rehearsal dinner, we only had 30 people to our wedding, okay? She got to be kind of like friends with the guys on the show Gigolos. I think she was on like an episode maybe or something. But anyway, not as like a client, just as like a friend of, not that it should matter, but anyway. So she brought one of the stars. I could tell you who it was. Gigolos, I'll tell you who it was. Because one of them we met at the pool, like at her house. We like hung out with him all day long behind, that was like the second day we got there. And the other one she brought, that guy was kind of rude. The other one she brought to our rehearsal dinner. I remember she introduced him to my dad because she and my dad like get along really well. They have kind of the same sense of humor. And my dad was like, "Is this your boyfriend?" She's like, "No, he's a gigolo." And my dad started laughing because, you know, like it's kind of an old word. And she goes, "No, like he's on this TV show called Gigolos," which of course my dad had never heard of it before. Gigolos, Showtime cast. So one of them got accused of something really bad. Oh, Stephen Gant. I'm like, this doesn't even have their pictures. I'm just looking at the name. Stephen Gant, I think it was the one that she brought to the rehearsal dinner. Let me look and see. Stephen Gant? I don't know if I'm spelling it right or not. Yeah, that was the one that she brought to the... I think that's who it was. He was really tall. What is this? There's something about him when... Is he the main part of the show? That cannot be. Arrested in Las Vegas. This is on TMZ. He's not the one that... Gigolo star arrested. This is him from 2012. We got married in 2011. I was talking about how he had an outstanding warrant. Oh, there's the other guy that was in the show. That was at the pool with her that day. What was his name? Anyway, that's who she brought to the wedding. Stephen Gant. It's not showing their pictures on here. I feel like his name was Nick. This is Nick Hawk. Maybe. Why do I feel like that was his name? Nick Hawk. I'll tell you if that was him or not. Oh, that was him. Oh, it was him. Yeah. So it was Nick Hawk that was... Oh, he's in this documentary. He was the one that we spent the whole day... I've got all kinds of pictures and stuff of him at the pool. We were all hanging out at her pool that day. She lives in Boulder City. This is so crazy. So I don't want to watch that. So I might watch that tonight. We'll see. That is so crazy. Anyway, I'm going to get off here now. Little unknown fact for you. Little unknown fact for you. The crazy life of my friends. My friends have there are so many things. I have so many. I mean, that is just like a little tidbit of her entire life story of which she could write an autobiography about. I was telling Nikki some things the other night. She's like, "Oh my god, the people that you know." I do have like a lot of crazy stories from people that I know, things I have never ever shared on video before. But anyway, all right, I'm gonna get off here now. I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Thursday. If you're watching this on Friday, I hope that you're having a fantastic beginning to your weekend. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you guys, and Liliana's birthday party starts at 9 tomorrow night, so I will be back here vlogging tomorrow. I love you guys, and I will see you then. Bye. Love you. Stay warm. Happy birthday, Lena.